Hello and welcome everyone again into another video, and in today's video I will be talking about the top teams in the Weather Cup for the Ultra League format. This week we from April 19th from April 19th until April 26th, start at 3 p.m. Central Time and also end at 3 p.m. Central Time. Weather Cup is basically weather elements, so fire, water, ice and rock. And the thing about this cup is that fire beat ice, lose to rock and water. Ice can beat water if the Pokemon is ice, water. Rock lose to both. Lose to water, it beats fire. So fire technically only lose to stuff here, so it almost doesn't exist. But the good thing, if you have a Pokemon that has a subtyping of either water or rock with a good typing, it might have a solid play in the cup. Why? Because rock beat ice, destroy ice and fire, and only lose to water. So if you can cover that weakness with like a grass type, you might have the best Pokemon in this cup. And guess what? The best Pokemon in this cup is actually rock and grass. So it beats fire, it destroys ice and water. See guys, it's just a chance. Or you could have a water type, because since water beat ice, fire and rock, you might have also another solid type, because for some reason water hit beat all the three types. So add water to another defensive type such as dragon, and then you get Kendra, Ghost, then you get Jellicent, and those are like probably the second and the third best Pokemon in the cup. So let's move and talk about the best Pokemon. And basically it's an Ultra League format, so 2500 CP, that's all you need. I divide them just as always: lead, safe swaps, generalists. Okay, and the generalists are the Pokemons that are good everywhere: lead, swap, and closing. Closing means this Pokemon is good and there's zero shield. Safe swap means this Pokemon is good with slight energy lead and they can flip matchups versus bad. They can flip the bad matchups with some energy lead. Lead are Pokemons that has a solid fast move pressure plus a decent charge move coverage, a baiting move, so you can either farm, you can flip some 2 shield scenarios if you land the bait, stuff like that. The best lead in my opinion is Obama Snow. Why it is Obama Snow? Because Obama Snow has a grass subtyping, and grass subtyping is pretty underrated in this cup, since no one runs fire and you're pretty much good against all the other three types. Same goes for Alolan Sandslash. Why Alolan Sandslash is good? Because it beats the best three, I think. Beats the best three and four. Wait, what is the music? Okay, it's playing, but okay, I see. Gyarados has good typing. The problem with Gyarados is that it's not a good Pokemon against the XL Pokemons, because it lacks the bulk, it lacks the stab damage as well. So lacking two things is just giving it like a huge step back from being like a solid option. Some people used it, but that doesn't mean you cannot use it, okay? That doesn't mean it has a decent use, but the thing is you always need like one extra Dragon Tail in most of the matchups, which means like it's not always ideal. Where stuff like Jellicent or Cradle, they don't care. They can get a shield advantage at least in most of the matchups that aren't horrible. Like what's the worst matchup for Cradle? It's Blaziken. Well, Stone Edge does a lot to Blaziken, by the way. What's a bad matchup to Jellicent? It's a Cradle, but if you have energy lead, like 3 hexes, you can pretty much get it very low. And now I think this is the first time we have Weather Cup plus the buff to Jellicent, which is Surf. So now you don't have to spam Shadow Balls. If you can just throw a Surf. So if you can get a Shadow Ball and Surf, that's lots of damage, okay? Tentacruel. When the cup started, no one knew about this Pokemon. 3-4 days in the cup, people realized that Tentacruel is just a broken Pokemon nowadays. Why? It's just very bulky. And it has 2 debuffs for charge moves. One is Scald, which with a chance to reduce the opponent's attack. The other one is Acid Spray, which reduce the opponent's defense. In both cases, you have a debuff chance, and you have poison jab, which will add up eventually even in bad matchups. Moving on, lantern, I don't think it's a good option, but some people just run it because it's an XL Pokemon, right? Some people like it because you will see some water, you see some rock Pokemons, and then lantern just can do lantern stuff. It's not the greatest option, just that some people would rather run same Great League team in every freaking cup. I mean, people can run whatever they want, okay? Safe swaps. The safe swap I want to talk about here, which I had great success with, is Samaranth. Why Samaranth? Because Samaranth has Mega Horn, which hits Cradily for super effective, and it's a freaking spammy. It's so spammy. It's like in any matchup you can get something, okay? It's not even bad against the Charmers because you will end up throwing lots of charge moves. Yes, because Charmers resist your pass move, and the pass move is like non-stab Fury Cutter, which is bad. But the safe swap, you don't need pass move pressure, you can just keep throwing charge moves. It beats a Swampert. The matchup against Empoleon isn't actually bad. The Jellicent matchup is horrible because Jellicent is just like a freaking tank. Which matchup? The matchup against Tenta is horrible as well, and that's why I prefer to use Tenta over Samaranth, because Tenta does everything the same in a better way, okay? What do you mean everything the same? Well, whenever the Fury Cutter is resisted, I mean Poison Jab also might be resisted, or a neutral. Regice, I think the only one started using it last time was Pokegains, and it has a decent play. Did I use it? No. Why? Because I powered so many stuff and I wasted so much dust. So I'm like, okay, I am not pouring up anything extra now. Let me increase the music volume. I hear music. Okay, there's music. There is music in the background. Politoed, the problem with Politoed, ever since they nerfed Weather Ball, it's not as good as it used to be. Now moving to the generalists. The best generalist in this cup by far is Cradily. And PvPox says I think it's Cradily and Ludicolo. Why? Because Ludicolo technically hits everything in this cup except Obama Snow, Tentacruel. And the thing is, everyone runs those too. So this thing, Ludicolo, is good on paper. Is it a good Pokemon? It's good on paper, okay? Don't be like, oh yes, I said it's a good closer and it's good. No, it was good on paper and no one used it last time. So a couple people did use it, but that's it. Maybe everyone's gonna use it nowadays. I don't know. I get some feedback that like, oh, the stuff I recommended people didn't see them, and they go back to League. I'm like, these videos are supposed to give you a quick review to what the meta is gonna look like. So when I say like, okay, this is the team that I'm predicting to be the number one, that does not mean you will see this team in your battles. You will see at least 2 of the 3, because the third is always subjective to change based on what you see. That's like usually for the top 4 teams I mentioned, and anything after that is actually teams people used. Okay, so you cannot say, oh, I've never seen them. No, these are teams that are based on usage. People reported to Go Battle Log, and yes, they were like the most used teams. So saying that you didn't see them, that's maybe because where you are, people don't report teams, but at high MMR, yes, they do exist. So Empoleon, it's a trash Pokemon. It used to be so good until they introduced XLs, and then the Pokemon became so bad. I think these, like most of the stuff you will see, but they aren't the only options you could use, okay? Now moving into the anti-meta stuff. Anti-meta stuff, see Samaranth here, Kendra here, Kendra here. What's the difference between those Kendras? This Kendra is non-XL, this Kendra is XL. This is A9, aka Alolan Ninetale. Charmads were bad because people were using Alolan Sandslash, but you will still find some people like Math Magic are still running Double Charm. Why? I mean, some people don't want to learn the game, or some people don't want to learn a new team, right? Some people just enjoy what they are playing, and some people have fun using Double Charm. You can't tell them to not do that because it's their battles. They can do whatever they want. Blastoise is not the greatest option, but it's a very thick Pokemon, and I wouldn't say it's a bad one. I would say it's an anti-meta because there are some stuff that do the same thing slightly better, like Jellicent. It's actually a better option. Seismitoad is just another Swampert that doesn't have a Hydro Cannon. Gliscopide, isn't this Gliscopide? What's the good thing about this? This thing has Shadow Claw. Okay, what about the charge move? It has trash charge move. Okay, it has the worst charge moves in the game. They gave it Shadow Claw. I'm like, okay, we're not gonna give you a charge move. Like, what's the point of giving it Shadow Claw if it doesn't have charge moves? I mean, it has charge moves, but all of them are garbage. Milotic is a better option. Is a bulkier version of Gyarados with less charge moves. Slowking, well, there is Jellicent, there is Cradily, and I think it's very tough to use this Pokemon because basically the typing is not helping. It's water, so it loses to Cradily. It's also psychic, so it loses to Jellicent, and you pretty much, the only thing you could beat is Tentacruel, but the thing is it takes forever to get a move, while Tentacruel, if Tentacruel can debuff your fast move, it's gonna become an awkward matchup. Other options that just exist, stuff like Shadow Probopass. I have a good IV that I could make, but it's so expensive and it doesn't get higher than, I think, 2300 or something. So yeah, these pretty much are the most stuff you will see in your battles, but that doesn't mean these are the only stuff you could see. I looked up the meta, like from the last time. I looked up the meta on PvPoke. I tried to see like what there is something spicy here and there that could see, and these are the only options I could came up with. Now, we talked about the meta stuff that we will see. We talk about the anti-meta. Let's talk about the top teams, okay? As an example, this is the top team according to PvPoke. If you try to build a team, it's like, okay, you choose Cradily, it's gonna recommend Swampert, and then PvPoke is gonna recommend A9. Does this mean it's the best team? No, this is the best team on paper, okay? This team beats most of the stuff that exists on this cup, but people don't run everything that exists on this cup, okay? That's the difference when I say this is good on paper, because that means this good beat the most stuff that exists on this cup, which is around 200-300 Pokemons, okay? Cradle in this cup running usual moveset, Grass Knot, Stone Edge, and Bullet Seed. Some people were running Bulldoze. I don't know why, because you need Stone Edge. Maybe it's kind of the same damage as non-step, super effective Bulldoze. Swampert, typical moveset, but you need EQ. Why? Because of Tentacruel. And Alolan Ninetale, Charm, Ice, Weather Ball, and Psyshock. You don't need Dazzling Gleam. Nothing basically takes super effective from Charm in this cup. Pretty much, you're pretty much using A9 for the Weather Ball most of the time. So, on paper, this is the best. And, you know, in this channel, we love the top 3 Pokemons on PvPoke, so we always recommend it as a team, okay? The team doesn't make sense, the team doesn't mean they cover each other, but it's like the 1, 2, 3 Pokemon on PvPoke. And the top 3 PvPoke are Cradily, Ludicolo, and Jellicent. Team is kinda slow, you don't have a spammy Pokemon, you don't have that much fast move pressure outside Ludicolo, but they are very bulky, 3 very excellent Pokemon. I think all of them are level 50 basically. Cradily is level 50, Hundo, Ludicolo is level 50, like 10, 15, 15 I think. In Jellicent you can have like a rank 1, which is the 6, 14, 13, sorry, 6, 15, 14 if I am correct. I have the rank 3 Jellicent build. So another team that I will be running, I used to run last time and I had a great win rate with it, and the video on YouTube says this is the best Wither Cup team, Road to Veteran. I was climbing to Veteran back in the day, so if you type this on YouTube you will see the video where I played those 3, and those 3 are pretty much like 1, 2 are pretty much one of my favorite Pokemons, and Cradily is just the best Pokemon. So the good thing about this cup is that about this team is that any of those 3 is a safe swap. Any of those three could be a lead, and any of those three could be a closet. So you could literally run it in any order you want. Literally any order you want. It does not matter. Okay? So if you run it in this order and they have a Cradley lead, you can go to your own Cradley. You can all go to Kendra. Up to you. It's probably the most flexible team in this cup. So that's basically this team. I think it was an awkward matchup. It doesn't come to my mind, but yeah, feel free to go and watch this video if you want to learn how to play most of the matchups, and if you have time, because the cup will be live tomorrow and I'm recording today. Wow, that's very, very, very informative. The cup's gonna be live tomorrow and I'm live today. I'm recording Tuesday and the cup will be live Wednesday. An ABB team that people used, okay, which means this team was used. So people who say that these teams do not exist, no, this is actually a team that I checked from Go Battle Log from people who use this team. It's Cradley double water. The team kind of struggle against Jellicent in the back, so that's why you need to bait it out with either of those. Swampert isn't bad against Jelly, and Tenta isn't bad against Jelly if they have. In fact, you can beat them if they have bubble Jellicent, and you still have a win con against the Hex Jelly. I think you need energy lead and you need to land a Scald debuff. Another solid team. Okay, you can see there's Go Battle Log here. Another solid team that people run last time is the ABA Ice with the Jellicent. Why Jellicent? Because it's the hardest answer to Blaziken. Why A9? Because it's the soft answer to Blaziken. So basically, you lead Obama Snow. If they have Blaziken in the lead, you insta swap to A9. If they swap in Blaziken, you go to Jellicent. And Jellicent is good at beating out stuff that beats A9 in this cup, such as what? I don't know. Go check the PV Pog and you will know what I'm talking about. Another ABA Ice that I played literally the last day of the cup, and I had also a great success with, where I used Alolan Sand Slash instead of the A9. Yes, it's much worse against Blaziken. This team technically does not beat Blaziken unless they swapped it and you want to go Swampert. But Alolan Sand Slash surprisingly beat most of the stuff in this cup, okay? And I had to make one. I think Smash King played this one. It's like where I get the team from. He was running Obama, Jelly, A-Slash or something. But I didn't want to run Jellicent because my chat were complaining that I've been playing Jellicent like the past 7 days or something. So I had to run something else. Remember, we could always use the team I called So Bad Team by Crimson 19. Which he used to use in Open Ultra League. It's actually eligible in this cup. Alolan Sand Slash with the Samaranth and Gyarados. Give him a follow and watch him playing the battles on twitch.tv/Crimson19. Very underrated battler. I mean, he's not underrated. He's the 4th Indiana Regionals winner. He's number 4, so technically he's not underrated. He's actually good. And as always, if you have no skills, if you just want to tap your screen, you know, like one of those people who just add an auto clicker to tap the battles, okay, you could win with this team. It's A/slash double charm, bad lead, just go to one charmer, good lead, you win the game because you're just gonna RPS from there. And yeah, this is pretty much it, and thank you so much everyone for watching the video. This is the end of it. Hope you guys like it. If you like the video, please leave a like, new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I am literally very, very close to hit 5,000 subscription on YouTube. That's a new milestone. If I hit it, I will do something new in the channel, so please help me out so I can help you out in making these type of videos. That's the end of the video. Thanks so much for watching and see you in the next video. Peace.